Cheese has long lived under a cloud of suspicion in mainstream nutrition, often labeled as an indulgent, artery-clogging food best enjoyed sparingly or avoided altogether. For decades, it was criticized for being high in saturated fat, sodium, and calories, and blamed for contributing to everything from weight gain and heart disease to high cholesterol. Public health guidelines throughout much of the 20th century reflected these concerns, encouraging people to opt for low-fat or fat-free dairy products and to treat full-fat cheese as an occasional splurge. But as the scientific understanding of dietary fats, fermentation, and whole foods has evolved, so too has the narrative around cheese. Today, high-quality, traditionally made cheese is recognized not just as a flavorful and satisfying food, but also as a valuable source of essential nutrients, including calcium, protein, and probiotics that can support a range of health goals when consumed in moderation. One of the most well-known nutritional benefits of cheese is its calcium content. Cheese is one of the most concentrated dietary sources of calcium, a mineral vital for bone health, muscle function, nerve transmission, and even blood clotting. While calcium is often associated with milk, cheese actually contains significantly more calcium per gram, especially hard varieties like Parmesan and cheddar. For populations at risk of osteoporosis, such as postmenopausal women or older adults, cheese can be a convenient and enjoyable way to meet daily calcium needs. Unlike calcium-fortified processed foods or pills, cheese delivers this mineral in a naturally bioavailable form, often accompanied by phosphorus and vitamin K2, both of which play supporting roles in bone metabolism and mineralization. Protein is another area where cheese quietly excels. Many cheeses offer high-quality, complete protein containing all the essential amino acids the body needs for tissue repair, immune function, and enzyme production. Cottage cheese, for example, is particularly rich in casein, a slow-digesting protein that provides a steady release of amino acids, making it a popular choice among athletes and those looking to preserve muscle mass. Even small portions of aged cheeses like Gouda or Swiss can contribute meaningful amounts of protein to a meal or snack, often with the added benefit of greater satiety and reduced cravings for processed snacks. But perhaps the most surprising reappraisal of cheese comes from its fermentation process, specifically the presence of beneficial bacteria or probiotics. While not all cheeses contain live cultures, many aged or artisanal cheeses, particularly those made from raw or unpasteurized milk, do offer probiotic strains such as Lactobacillus and Bifidobacterium. These microbes may support gut health by promoting a balanced microbiome, enhancing digestion, and potentially reducing inflammation. Even in cheeses made from pasteurized milk, the fermentation process itself creates bioactive peptides and compounds that may support blood pressure regulation, immune function, and antioxidant defense. The growing recognition of cheese as a living, fermented food, rather than a static block of saturated fat, has helped shift public perception away from guilt and toward appreciation. In terms of fat, cheese has also seen a remarkable shift in scientific understanding. Yes, cheese contains saturated fat, but it's now understood that not all saturated fats have the same effects, and their health impact depends heavily on the food matrix in which they're consumed. Studies have shown that saturated fat from cheese may not raise LDL cholesterol as much as previously thought, and may even have a neutral or beneficial effect on heart disease risk when consumed as part of a balanced diet. Some evidence suggests that the calcium in cheese can bind to fatty acids in the gut and increase their excretion, thereby blunting the absorption of dietary fat. Additionally, cheese contains conjugated linoleic acid, CLA, a naturally occurring fatty acid with anti-inflammatory and potential anti-cancer properties, especially when sourced from grass-fed cows. The sodium content in cheese, while significant in some varieties, is also being reassessed in context. Unlike sodium from processed, nutrient-poor foods like chips or canned soups, the sodium in cheese comes packaged with protein, calcium, and other nutrients that may help offset its impact on blood pressure. Furthermore, many low-sodium cheese options exist, and portion sizes tend to be small, especially when cheese is used to complement meals rather than serve as the main component. As with many whole foods, moderation and balance are key. Cheese also offers other important micronutrients, including zinc, vitamin B12, riboflavin, B2, and vitamin A. B12 is particularly noteworthy as it is essential for red blood cell formation and neurological health, and is found almost exclusively in animal-derived foods. For individuals following low-meat or flexitarian diets, Cheese can help fill important nutrient gaps without relying on supplements or heavily fortified products. Beyond its nutritional profile, cheese offers a deep sense of culinary satisfaction and cultural richness. From a behavioral perspective, it supports mindful eating by encouraging smaller portions, savoring, and slower consumption. A small piece of flavorful aged cheese can satisfy a craving more effectively than a larger quantity of a bland, low-fat substitute. This satiety factor, combined with cheese's high protein and fat content, may actually assist with appetite regulation and weight maintenance over time, a point backed by observational studies showing that regular cheese consumers are not at higher risk of obesity than non-consumers, and in some cases have better metabolic markers. In summary, cheese, particularly when high-quality, minimally processed, and consumed mindfully, has more to offer than once believed. Rather than being viewed as an indulgence to limit, it can be embraced as a nutrient-rich, fermented whole food that supports bone health, muscle maintenance, gut microbiota, and even cardiovascular balance. Its evolution in public perception reflects a broader shift in nutritional science, away from simplistic avoidance and toward thoughtful inclusion of traditional, nourishing foods. Cheese, once vilified, now rightfully earns a place on the plate, not as a compromise, but as a contributor to health, enjoyment, and balance in everyday eating.